Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Princess, if you didn't already know, and you are now in the Princess Lifestyle. So today I am doing a video that Snapchat has been requesting for a long time. Pretty much one of the only drugstore priced foundations that I actually like at all. So this makes two drugstore priced foundations that I actually like. This is not a drugstore foundation. You have to order it online. I don't think there's any way else to get it. But this foundation is only $6. Yes. I've used it a couple of times. The first time I used it, I had mixed reviews about it. I felt like it got a little bit ashy at one point. And then I used it again and I was like, okay, now I understand what I did wrong the last time. So the foundation is called The Ordinary. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of this. The company is Deciem, but also like The Ordinary. So I'm confused about what the name actually is. It says The Ordinary on the bottles, but the actual company is called Deciem. So I don't know, maybe the foundation is just called The Ordinary. So the foundation that I got from Deciem is the Ordinary Coverage Foundation. It says it's a high coverage foundation and you are supposed to shake well before use, dispense a small amount into the palm or the back of your hand, smooth on and blend throughout the face, ideally outward from the midpoint of the face. So I got 4 shades. I got all of the dark skin shades. Well, not dark skin necessarily. I got all of the brownish shades that I saw were available, like from light brown to dark brown. They have, I believe, either 21 or 25 shades, but the darker shades, there are not that many. I believe there were only 5 dark shades, like the bottom row, the deep row. I think there were only 5, and then the rest was like light. And then I feel like there should be colors in between these colors, but whatever. So the foundations range from a neutral undertone to a red undertone, I believe. I believe they have neutral and red undertones. So if I say 3.1N, that means it's 3.1 neutral. If I say 3.2R, that means it's 3.2 red. So that's the undertone that you're going to get from the foundation. So I'm going to give you guys swatches of each color that I got. The first foundation I'm going to swatch is 3.1R, and this was the lightest in the black girl row. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so that is 3.1R. Clearly, this is not my shade. Okay, so that's 3.1R. It's definitely a red undertone. It looks like it has some orange in it, in my opinion, but it's definitely very beautiful. I like how watery these foundations are. They're not too watery. Like, they have a little bit of thickness to them, but they're not like too thick. Next up is the darkest shade that they sell, and this is 3.3N. I like that this is super dark, but it's not, what is it called? It's not a red undertone, because one thing that makeup brands tend to do a lot when they have to make dark skin shades and they're not really familiar with dark skin, they make the undertone red like right off the bat. Like everybody, all the dark skin girls, before makeup brands started taking notice of us, we were all in NW45 at MAC. That's why I didn't wear foundation for years, because I was like, this doesn't look like me. But whatever, MAC is getting it together. So this is 3.1R, and this is 3.3N. The next shade that I'm going to swatch is 3.2N. This is one of the shades that I got hoping that it would be my exact shade. I don't think it is. I'm just going to say off the bat, it's not. So this was 3.2N. It's not my exact shade. It's closer to my chest than these ones, obviously, but it's definitely not my exact shade. So I'm going to be color correcting, and I'm going to use my Makeup Forever Step 1 color corrector. I'm using this because I have experience with this foundation. I told you guys I've used it a couple times before. And even though it has a good red undertone, it does not do enough to color correct. And throughout the day, around your mouth and like under your eyes may get a little bit gray. So I'm going to color correct. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with the foundation. So the colors that I'm going to use are going to be a mix of 3 colors actually. I'm going to be using 3.2N, 3.2R, and 3.3N. I'm going to be using an even amount of these and half a drop of this. So this is about what it looks like. Once it's blended out, you'll see that it's pretty much the closest thing to my skin tone. This is what it looks like. You can see that this shade matches my chest pretty closely. If I need to adjust, I will do so during the process of applying it. I'm using my Real Techniques buffing brush to blend everything out. A buffing brush, in my opinion, works best with this foundation. Okay, so this is what the foundation looks like. Okay, and I brought it all the way down my neck, a little bit onto my chest so it can be pretty much even. So what I'm going to do now is finish the rest of my face and then give you guys the review. Okay, you guys, so this is the completed look. I have done my whole face and I'm getting ready to run out. But before I go, I wanted to let you guys know what I think about this $6 foundation. So you guys know that I am a high-end type of woman. I really don't like drugstore anything. The only drugstore foundation besides, drugstore priced foundation besides this one that I actually like is the Milani 2-in-1 foundation. And I've been using that since it came out and I love it. That's the only drugstore foundation that I will ever put my stamp on. But this foundation really pleasantly surprised me. Like, seriously. So I wore it all day twice before this time, and it lasted about, I'd say 8 hours before I needed to do any touch-ups or anything like that. The first time that I used it, I actually used all of these colors. I figured out what my foundation shade was and I used that. And then I used the very lightest shade, which was 3.1R, to highlight, and I used the darkest shade, which was 3.3N, to contour. I will say I did not color correct, and that was a big mistake the first time I used it because it definitely needs color correction. But I didn't color correct because of the red undertone of it. I thought that that would be enough, but it wasn't. So you definitely have to color correct with this foundation. The other issue is the lighter color, the highlight color, 3.1R. It turned a little bit grayish on me, like around my mouth area it turned gray, but that could very well be because I did not color correct the first time. So the second time I only used the foundation just like I only used these products as foundation just like I did this time, and I had no issues. The foundation lasted, I'd say about 8 to 10 hours before I needed to do any touch-ups, and they were minor touch-ups. They weren't anything significant. So I really loved my face. I loved my look. I even took pictures like 12 hours after I'd done my makeup. Like, I didn't take pictures immediately because I was doing different things. And I took it 12 hours after my makeup and it looked great. It looked flawless. You can check my Instagram. I just really am impressed by this foundation. At first I was like, oh my gosh, great. I tried this foundation. It's $6. I was excited because I thought it was an affordable foundation that I liked, and it wasn't. But I think that it's because I did not color correct the first time that caused the issue. That's why I opted to film this video again, to give it a second chance and try it in a different way. My rating for this foundation is, I mean, it's not a 10. Maybe, I'd say it's a good 7. Yeah, I'd say it's a 7. It's not a bad foundation at all. And you guys know I'm an oily skin type of person. My T-zone is oily. I really don't have very many issues. And the primer that I use today is my Lancome primer, and that's working very well. Have you guys tried this foundation? If you have, let me know in the comment section, and be sure to list what your shade is. I definitely want to know your thoughts on it and your tips and tricks, what you do to keep the foundation on and make it last longer. And if you have not tried the foundation, let me know what you think of it on me. What you think, what you think. All right, you guys, that is my final review of this Deciem The Ordinary Coverage Foundation. They also have a serum foundation. If you guys want me to try that, let me know in the comments. But until then, I will see you guys in the next video, which should be up on Saturday. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.